Channel Julio. Thank you, Channel Julio says, I have trouble with the idea that we are not fighting flesh and blood, but powers and principalities. How then to deal with F&B selective justice wars? Well, I don't know where you're coming from, what your perspective is on the world with this question. I mean, if you're a Christian, I think a lot of Christians believe that we're not fighting flesh and blood, that we are fighting powers and principalities. And that actually gives me comfort in a weird way, because I don't know, it's like a movie where I feel like I know what the ending is anyway. And it's stepping back from interactions with people and reminding myself of what's really important. And when you're getting into a fight, like with a selective social justice warrior on Facebook, sometimes you can, the dopamine from being in an argument with someone, everything, it can consume you. And it can seem very important that you're arguing with this person. It's not important. It's really not. You can step back from it and say, okay, did I behave myself in a way I'm proud of in that interaction? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. You can learn from it, but it's just part of something bigger. And I don't know if I'm explaining myself well, but I will say, if you're not in our book club, Channel Julio, we are currently reading a nonfiction book. We're reading Human Diversity by Charles Murray. But the next book we're going to read is fiction. We're reading C.S. Lewis' Screwtape Letters, because a lot of people have suggested that to me and to the channel. And that one, if you haven't read it, I think would be a very good one. And I haven't finished it yet, but I think you're going to like it based on this question. So
I just want to jump in and make a quick comment on that, because I think Julio got or Julio, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I think you hit the nail on the head in like the in terms of the where the angst and depression comes from in fighting this battle, because I think the answer is we are fighting an ideological battle, and we're fighting flesh and blood people, because ideologies only have power through the actions of people who adopt them. And so we are fighting both, and that's the thing that gets depressing, because there are a lot of flesh and blood people implementing bad ideology, and ultimately it's an ideological war, which means that we need to be pushing the correct ideologies and building generations of kids who are immune to bad ideology. And at the same time, we need to defend ourselves against a rabid mob and a growing mob of crazy people who want to implement their Marxist ideal, or at the very least destroy us for standing in the way. And I think the tough fact to face here is we are dealing with both. And I know I think because that's my perspective, that might be why I'm a little bit less into pulling SJWs out of the battle than Carrie is, and more focused on like normies, because and maybe why I'm more pessimistic than Carrie is generally, because that's my perspective, is that it's because I really think that the only action left to us is to start, is to be aware that it's a flesh and blood battle in the near term, as well as an ideological battle, and to circle wagons and start building communities of people who have at least ideological alignment on basic tenets of Western civilization, and so that we can fight, because we may have to, like, someone said this the other day, if we do, let's say we all move to a state and secede, Marxists don't like that. Marxists don't leave you alone. That's not their thing. They're not like, it's the small government libertarian mindset that says, oh, you want a commune of hippies where you share stuff? Like, okay, you can go do that. Like, we'll leave you alone. We'll let you do your thing. Marxists don't let you do your thing. You have to do their thing. That's how Marxists are. They're authoritarians. So you're not allowed to just go have your little spot over here. Hey, we're going to have some freedom over in this spot over here. Can we'll leave you the whole rest of the country. Do your Marxist thing. We're going to do our thing. No, they need total control. So I think it's likely to get to real battles at some point.
They're like mosquitoes. There's no place in your backyard to I'm carving this out, guys.
If only smoke worked.